Hey, what is up, fellow monkeys? Manny here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're strong and healthy and free somewhere out there. We got the yurt for a couple of minutes, for a couple of quiet minutes, thank God. Sorry for the long silence. A long climbing break occurred again because we had our second little one. The patrons know what's up. Yeah, crazy journey, man. We're coming back from a longer climbing break again, like 1 to 2 months or something of no climbing at all, no training whatsoever, zero skin, all the skin, the callus on the toe tips is gone, man. And this is a shot from one of the first sessions after this longer climbing break. This is a route called Down Under. It is in an awesome crag, the Hintere Arena of Styria. And these are the first hard moves through a couple of awesome pinches. We just got the second clip in, bang, another pinch with left there. And this is actually one of the hardest moves. Another pinch with right, and now another hard move, big move to another pinch, and another hard move to something that I could call a jog, at least compared to the other hard holds that we had here in this crux sequence. This is a very good hold, which is going to allow us to put the third clip in. But first, of course, let's shake a little bit from the pump off. Zero skin, we have zero fitness here. So this is a 7C. And this route showed me something again that I had in suspicion for a long time now, which is what I would call straight out the gates grade. And we talk a little bit about it after this shot maybe. But let's analyze the route here a little bit. This is some really power endurance-y stuff. We got this intro boulder into this little rest here, which is not really good. It's super overhanging. You got a lot of weight in your hands there. And now we get this really pumpy power endurance sequence finish to the top. It doesn't really let go until you clip the chains. And yeah, crossover here into this decent hold with left, big one to the right. Now we're looking a little bit of a foothold confusion there, and catching further with right here, I think. There we go. And this is the thing, this was my second go. I didn't have many more goes anyway in a route like this with this amount of fitness that I have. So I had one checkout. I climbed this route in the past already, so this is a reclimb attempt essentially. A second go on a reclimb attempt. Decent hold here with both of my hands, kind of slopey thing there. But yeah, super pumpy, man. We're losing a lot of calories there in the forearms, essential calories for the finish. But anyway, here we're going for it. We're climbing into the sun in our face. Damn, a lot less vision than before, but quite well executed here. You can see a lot of regripping, trying to get those joggy two fuzz as good as possible because I'm so pumped already. And now I'm kind of struggling here. This is still very correct here, very good hold here, very good undercling with right hand. And now I'm kind of trying to really, I don't know, I'm searching the top jog there. I don't know if I think I checked it out and hit it when I did my checkout, but now I somehow didn't find it and sat down into the harness. Big whipper there. But yeah, failing again in a 7C. And we had that already with the little Trieste adventure, where I did also a video. This was with Alex and Torsten in Trieste, and I tried this 7C. I think the video was called, well, it's the last video after this one. It's called touching a 7C after 2 years or something, after a really long time again. And I failed on that 7C very closely as well, and in a very similar style as this one here. And this leads me to believe that I now have found, after all of these longer climbing breaks and getting back into climbing quite abruptly, right, without any training, without any hangboarding before, just, you know, if you have 2 kids, then you gotta you gotta take the opportunities as they come, right? The kids are out or something, you've got time, and your friends have time for a little climbing session as well. That's how you plan your climbing sessions then. So you take the opportunities as they come. And you obviously then have no fitness, right? No preparation, no chance for a preparation even. And because I had this so many times now, and I'm failing so closely on these 7Cs, I think that my straight out the gates grade is actually 7B+. And so that means if I just go without any preparation, just take my climbing shoes, my freaking chalk bag and harness to the crag, and I have 2, maybe 3 goes depending on the style of the route, 7B plus is probably something that I would get done. I would rather get done, at least if it's not super bouldery or power endurancey. If it's an endurancey 7B plus, I think I could climb it quite well. Now, why is this even relevant? I think that the straight out the gates grade, as we could call it, is actually quite set in stone for any given climber out there, just like the genetical limit grade that this climber is eventually gonna climb if they put the effort in and the hours and the training and the time and everything, yeah, of course. So not everybody, I mean, by far most climbers never reach their genetic potential. But if they would, we would see that the genetic potential is something that is quite set in stone, and there is not much to push that for any given person out there. And I think that the straight out the gates grade, which is the grade that a person can climb after they once have reached their genetic potential, but then did not train for many years maybe, and then they came back to climbing for whatever reason, and this is the grade that they could first climb straight out the gates without any preparation, right? So this is what I would say is the straight out the gates grade. There is also another grade which would also be interesting, which is which is probably not as set in stone as these grades. That is the straight out the gates grade without any preparation whatsoever, without any climbing experience whatsoever of any given person at the rock, outdoors. This would also be interesting, but I think this is quite there is a quite high variance there, because sometimes you're lucky and there is a route which is very readable, because most beginners just simply fail because they couldn't find a hold or something like that. Sometimes you're lucky and the holds are very visible outdoors, then the beginner would get further. Sometimes they're not, then they would sit down in the harness right at the first quick draw. Probably is a top rope attempt anyway, right? So this is kind of hard to measure, but it would be interesting as well. But I think these two things are quite precisely measurable. The genetic limit grade, which is something that you reach after, let's say, a decade of, or even 15 or 20 years of, progressing in the sport and really training really hard, putting the hours in. And then the straight out the gates grade, which is after you've done that, the thing that when you let yourself drop back again into the lower grades, but then come back with no preparation whatsoever. And that's the grade that you can climb. For me, I think it is 7B plus. I would be curious to know what is your opinion about this. Have you had similar experiences? And then there is another question that we could ask. How are the genetic limit grade and the straight out the gates grade connected? Are they connected at all? I would predict that it is different for different climbers. There is some climbers, for example, I knew a guy whose limit was 8B, but when he did not train and he let his fitness go and came back, his straight out the gates grade was surprisingly high. I think it was 7C or even 7C plus, or was it even 8A, man? This dude could send 8A with basically zero training, zero preparation whatsoever in his third or something go of the day, if he could bang out 3 goes. But his limit when he was in training and was climbing regularly was only quote-unquote 8B. So there is something, for different people, the difference between genetic limit and straight out the gates grade is quite different. And this is also something that is, I think, quite noteworthy and interesting. But yeah, guys, that's basically all I wanted to say. I just wanted to have a little chat here about the straight out the gates grade, or that's at least what I would call it. We had a nice little session in the Hintere Arena and in Down Under. Yeah. And we actually had another one recently at the Weiße Wand, another great Styrian crag with Thorsten and Alex. Actually got some footage from that one as well, which I would be glad to review for you in the near future. So I hope you're strong and healthy and free and fit somewhere out there, my friends. I can only say it again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye.